Hello, welcome back to the map analysis video of Scott Nuttall's hike route in which he located the tent and sword. This is a follow-up video in which I'll be sharing with you Scott Nuttall's response. I wanted to ask him personally to whether the hike route I mapped out was correct or incorrect, and I'll show you that very shortly. But one key thing I did acknowledge and notice was with the previous video, some people were claiming, suggesting that the hike route that Scott supposedly took and he explained himself on his map is incorrect. Now, from my point of view, I'm not contesting anything. I'm not to know. I'm just mapping stuff out or describing stuff based off what other people have described themselves. So just wanted to make that clear. Some people, like Jeff Clark, claiming that Scott Nuttall, that he didn't go that far east, overestimated or so. He wasn't in that exact area. Silver Heels saying how the tent and sword cannot be in this area because there's no wash, and because of the location of where it's in, open, and hundreds of hikers go through there, they would have found it. I'm not contesting most of what Silver Heels says, but the idea that hundreds of hikers pass through that area, I doubt. I doubt hundreds of people are in this area because it is a remote area. Some places, yes, okay, but maybe not this area. What else was Silver Heels saying? I can't quite remember, to be honest, but I think it was over in this area. I haven't got a pointer or a marker to show you, but somewhere in this area Scott actually hiked down or so, which is near where the M cave is. But nevertheless, I personally asked Scott to watch my video, and it's good he responded and he did watch my video, so I appreciate that. And this is his response. So on screen is Scott Nuttall's reply. He says, "Yes, the rocks are in the right spot for the tent, but I did hike down past the cave and around the front of the mountain to the parking spot. I picked up the undergarments. I left the tent up there." Okay. So, from what Scott says, he agrees with me that the location of the tent and sword, as you can see on the screen, where I suggested that rock formation, is correct. Now, I understand if people contest that point. I'm just basing it off what Scott has said himself and what he's responded to me by, okay? Now, he also mentions about hiking down past the cave and around the front of the mountain. Well, hiking past the cave, the covered M cave, would suggest Scott did go down Pitcher Canyon. Now, I did suggest that in my video. I wasn't certain, but I suggested that. So from what Scott is saying, that is correct as well. Now, is it safe to say this is 100% cleared up? I don't know, because I'm sure people will still contest and suggest that Scott may be wrong or Scott isn't quite correct with accuracy in what he says. I don't know, me personally, because I'm not really in a position to say anything. However, basing it back to Silver Heels' point about it from where I mapped it out, and then Scott reinforcing it, saying, yes, correct rock formation, correct area, I can understand Silver Heels. You know, if that is a spot where previous investigators and hikers have been and walked past that area, they would have seen it themselves. But let's look at it this way. If the tent and sword is in fact there and was found there, despite the counterclaims, The idea that would raise is that any hiker that has been in that area and passed through that part, was it Cow Coral or something? I think Jeff said it, Sean's been there. They didn't find it in that spot. I'm trying to base this from memory, so I might make the odd few mistakes, but supposedly Jeff and Sean have been in that area where I mapped it out with the tent and sword, and they didn't find it there at the time. So then that would obviously rule out the idea that it is Kenny Veach's tent. It would rule out the idea that it is the potential murderer, and it would also rule out the idea of it being a previous missing hiker such as Eric the hiker, because that was in 2016. And if Jeff was there in 2017, around that time, and Sean's been there in recent time, or after about 2015, 2016, which I think is the case, then, you know, it does rule out a lot of suspects to who the tent belongs to. Now, that isn't a problem. You can still argue and make the point forwards that, you know, it could still link to maybe the mysterious hiker or hikers. I'm not talking about that YouTube channel of mystery hikes. I'm talking about the word mysterious unknown hiker or hikers that could have been responsible for that campsite, as well as damaging the mine shaft and the covered M cave. Because, as said, if this tent is where it is, maybe in plain sight, open view, despite people going through that area, it would have to be in 2020 or so, maybe, to where the tent dates back, I guess, or maybe just a little bit before that. And in that time period, that's when the mine shaft and the cave was altered with, round about then or so. We're basing it off when things were last recorded and noted down visually. It would tie in line with that stuff. So there are still possible leads. Now, at the end of the day, if people are still uncertain or have a strong opinion that it's not true, then I guess feel free to follow that up with Scott Nuttall. I'm sure he'll respond and just try and clear things up, because, you know, whether it's the actual mystery itself or if it's subsections within, might as well clear it up. If there's a question, if there is doubt, uncertainty, then one needs to, I guess, ask and reveal the truth. So yeah, that's it for now. Just a brief update, just sharing this with you. You know, it was easier to do it in a video format. Maybe a screenshot or a community post would have been better, more ideal, but you know, in terms of the reach, acknowledging and notifying everyone, it's easier just making a video, because then everyone's all collected together and then they can all see it in one spot. It's just more time efficient and more practical. So that's why I make these little update videos along the way. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.